Hello, बच्चों guys. Welcome to GATE वाला. And guys, as all of you know that GATE has released the syllabus for 2027 GATE, and we are seeing that there are a lot of changes which have happened from the GATE 26 syllabus to the GATE 27 syllabus. So, guys, I welcome you all to this session, which is for aerospace engineering. And in this aerospace engineering, now today we are going to see what are the changes which has come in the syllabus for the GATE 2027. Though you might have heard that there is a lot of buzz about huge change in the syllabus. But guys, if we talk about most of the syllabus is not very significantly changed. As we are going to see over here, okay. So as we are going to see that hello. Okay, I think there is some issue with the mic. Okay, I hope it is okay now. So today we are going to see that in for GATE Aerospace Engineering there is not much change, though few topics have been added, few topics have been removed, but largely 90 to 95% of the syllabus is almost like the same. There are certain changes that we are going to talk about, and guys, you do not have to worry. Those of you who have already taken the courses in GATE wala, guys, those topics which have been added in the new syllabus, we are going to provide you the complete course with the added topics. Those for those batches in which the subjects have already been covered, we are going to provide extra lectures where you will get those extra topics. So without wasting much of time, let's see and let's compare the syllabus of GATE 2026 and 2027 aerospace engineering, and we will see that not much of the changes have come up. Okay. So guys, if we talk about the first thing that we talk about is I have made a comparison over here, and on the left hand side you will see that the subjects which are mentioned in the syllabus, and then against the subject we have topics, and in those topics what are the changes which are there, only those are going to be seen over here. So we are going to see only the topics which have been changed. For those topics, 90% of the topics for which there has been no change, I'm not going to show you all of those. Just for the topics which have been mentioned, either they have been mentioned, elaborated, or they have been added. So those all topic we are going to see over here. So if we talk about the first subject, that is engineering mathematics, and in engineering mathematics we have got a lot of chapters. So in those chapters, if you see linear algebra, there is no change that has happened. If we talk about calculus, so earlier in 2026 it was mentioned as the mean value theorem. Now that has been added as functions of several variables. So guys, if you see these two topics are more or less like same, there is not much of the difference, because this mean value theorem is also for the function maxima, minima. So those things we know. Okay. So the only thing that has been done in lot of topics, it has been elaborated or expanded. Okay, so when we talk about the expanded, that means more or less the content remains same. It is just that it has been mentioned in a more elaborated form. Okay, so that has been done. If we talk about the differential equation, earlier it was only the generic PDE equations were there, but now if you see they have mentioned partial differential equation, that is already there. This is partial differential equation, which was written the generally partial differential equation, but now it has been done the classification, and in those classification he has mentioned about wave, heat equation, Laplace equation, all these equations he has mentioned. So when we talk about the generic PDEs, PDE is a class of differential equation. Okay, these are some of the equations which are very specific equations. Okay, so now partial differential equation classification, that means this form will already be there, and he has emphasized on these like wave, heat and Laplace equations. So if now you are going to see these probably you might see, I'm not saying it will be, but you might see that some questions might come from these equations if he has to give you. So guys, let me tell you the course which has been changed. That has been changed keeping in mind what is being taught in the MTech. Okay, so earlier if you go for the syllabus of or if you go to MTech, like I did MTech in ISC Bangalore, at that time when we went to join over there, these differential equations, they were very detailed. Okay, so the basic part we were slightly missing, and most of those equations were dealing with these three equations. Okay, so probably there were few more apart from these three. Okay, so now if you see why the GATE has particularly mentioned these, because they want to have certain emphasis on these topics. So probably this is the reason why they have added this part. Okay, sir, robotics how to study? अरे robotics पढ़ना है तो पूरा पढ़ो भाई. Okay, chalo. So this is what we have done in the differential equation. Now if you go to the numerical method, again in numerical method it was a special topic which was written only as the numerical methods. And if you talk about numerical method, it is again a very vast field. There are a lot of numerical methods which are there, which when you go to MTech you will realize that there is altogether courses. There is a 2-semester course in ISC Bangalore on numerical methods, just the numerical methods. Okay, so now that numerical method special topic has been added into the core topic, and if you see, he has mentioned very specifically, very categorically, bisection, Newton-Raphson, trapezoidal, Simpson, regression, interpolation. All these methods, all these things we used to study in numerical methods. But now if you see, he has mentioned these topics as bisection, Newton-Raphson, trapezoidal, Simpsons. Okay? So probably what he means to say is, guys, you have to put more emphasis on these. Though numerical methods, more or less, these are only the numerical methods which you have. Okay, there is one more which is finite difference, which is a part of it. So probably that has not been mentioned. Okay, so that is what it has been it has been expanded. So over here I have written move to core topic. So earlier it was mentioned under the special topics of numerical methods. Now it has gone to the core topic. That means you can expect questions on that. It is not a special topic anymore. Okay, and he has expanded it more. Okay, then if we go to the complex analysis, again guys, if you see earlier he used to write generic complex analysis. Again, generic means it was a very vast field. He could have asked anything from the numerical, anything from the complex analysis. Now he has written specifically complex number, Cauchy-Riemann conditions or Cauchy-Riemann equation. Okay, so now he specifically meant this. Okay, so now if you see, he has again expanded, or what we can say is, now instead of generic he has put this Cauchy-Riemann condition, though we know that it is one specific condition of complex number. Again, we used to study a lot about complex numbers. Okay, so now he has mentioned only these topics. Let's go to the next topic, that was the probability and statistics. Again, it was very vast topic where it was written generic probability and statistics. Now he has given you very specific Bayes theorem. Earlier we used to study mean, medium, mode, binomial, normal, Poisson's distribution, everything we used to study. Okay, but now you see some of the distributions he has not mentioned. Okay, so now since he generic was altogether everything you have to study, but now it is like only these part you have to study. Okay, so what he has given you is more or less like a clarity, conceptual clarity on only which topics have to study. Okay, so guys, earlier it was left open ended, as you can study anything, but now he wants you to study only the specific topic. Is it clear? So guys, you see, this is what is the addition or expansion which has happened. Earlier there was one topic which was written, which was there as Laplace transform. Now that has not been mentioned this year. Okay, but guys, again, like though I know that GATE might have changed the syllabus, but sometimes I don't know, like this is my perception. instead of or without Laplace transform, you will not be able to learn lot of things in other subjects also, because Laplace transform is something which is most commonly used. Okay, so even though in maths probably it is not mentioned, but somewhere else you might be using Laplace transform. This is very important transfer actually. Laplace transform and G transform, these are the two transform which we extensively study, probably not in BTech but in MTech and PhD. Okay, so anyway you will have to study this, but it is not mentioned in the GATE now. Okay, so this was all about mathematics, guys. So I hope everybody has understood about the basic engineering mathematics. Now let's go to the topics which are there in the aerospace engineering. So guys, earlier there were the topics of flight mechanics and space dynamics. Both of them were mentioned separate topics, but now both of them have been combined. Okay, and mota moti the syllabus is same, except few of the topics that I'm going to show you over here. So if we talk about aircraft configurations, earlier it was not there. Now it has been added, and in that aircraft configuration, high lift devices have come up. Okay, so guys, this high lift devices is actually a topic of MTech. Okay, but earlier we used to study only the NACA foils or airfoil structures, but now how the lift has been or how the lift is generated, this is very very specific topic, which itself require probably 5 to 7 hours of teaching. So this is a new topic which have been added. This earlier this topic was basically of MTech, but now it has been come to the GATE. Okay. Next again, aircraft performance lift coefficient alpha curve, that has again been added. Okay, again this was this is a very important topic which we study in MTech. Oh, so when we talk about the stability, when we talk about the analysis, when we talk about the lift, this is one of the curve which is actually very important. Okay, and it determines a lot of thing. But since he has added high lift devices, this probably topic cannot be completed, or these two topics are basically complementary to one another. As you add high lift devices, this part or this curve will change. Okay, so these topics, you can say that both of them are more or less like related to one another. Okay, so once you study this, probably this will come into the picture. Okay, next let's talk about the static stability. Earlier again it was not there. In this one, new topic has been added, linear and angular momentum balance. Okay, this is again a new topic. So there are few new topics which have been added over here. Okay. Next, if we talk about space dynamics, earlier it was trajectory or orbital period, and these were simple cases, but now he has mentioned very Keplerian orbit, Hoffman transfer. These are probably these you might have studied already, or you might have heard about this. Okay, but these are not very difficult topics. I am sure you might have studied these. Okay, so they are more or less like the expanded form. These are not the new topics. Okay, these are very even if you are not an aerospace student, even if you are a simple engineer, you might have heard this Hoffman transfer. Okay, while if you might have seen some videos of ISRO launching the satellites, probably there you might have heard this Hoffman transfer, or when you might have studied interplanetary missions, there you might have heard about this. Okay, that was all about the flight mechanics and space dynamics. Now let's go to the aerodynamics, and in aerodynamics there is only one fluid mechanics part is there, and in that fluid mechanics, earlier it was about the wind tunnel testings. Wind tunnels and shockwave boundary layer interaction, that was the topic, but now that has been specifically mentioned. So guys, you know that when we study the wind tunnel dynamics, we in the fluid mechanics we already study streamline, streak line, path line. Okay, the Newtonian fluid, these are very basics, but now he has expanded all of these. So Bernoulli equation, HP and Couette flow, Pitot U tube, all of these you have studied. Okay, so this is not a new topic. This is actually the part of the earlier the part of this. There is one topic which I am going to show you that has been removed. Okay, that will come later. Okay. So that is only the fluid mechanics part, that is only this much. If we talk about the structures or the strength of materials, again this earlier I think it was there. Okay, it is there. Okay, it was now the topic has been stress strain curve for steel aluminum combined loading principal strain bars and shafts. This was already there. Okay, it is under the topics of stress strain curve and the analysis of the structures. Okay, it was there, but now he has mentioned this under the detailed part. It is there. Earlier also we used to study this, everything we used to study for steels, aluminiums and other parts. We already study the stress strain curve. We already study the Moore circle, the combined loading, the principal planes, all these things we study. Okay, so not much of change in the structure. So if you go to structures, then there are few topics which have again been expanded. If we talk about the three-dimensional transformations, so earlier it was 3-dimension, now that has been made to 2-dimensional transformation of stress and strain. Okay, earlier the topic was mentioned in the 3-dimension, now it is under 2-dimension. If we talk about stress and deflection of statically determinate, again this was earlier also, but it was mentioned statically determinate and indeterminate beams. Okay, indeterminate trusses and beams. So now that has been again like expanded in the form that the stress and deflection. Okay, earlier also we used to study what is the stress, what is the deflection, what are the loads acting, what will be the bending moment occurring. So all these things we used to study. Okay, so that has been expanded now, nothing much. Okay, so in strength of materials, mota-moti there is no change, almost everything is like the same. If we go to flight vehicle structures, okay, again characteristics of aircraft structures and material, this was again very broad topic because anything can be asked in this, but now that has been made specific, like symmetric and unsymmetric cross sections. Okay, so that is, though it is almost the same, because over here symmetric and unsymmetric everything is covered. Okay, then if we talk about the torsion and bending, again it was mentioned in thin walled structures. Over here it is also the same. So torsion, bending and shear of open and closed thin walls. Okay, so earlier here it was not mentioned on open and close. Okay, but we used to study everything. So now it has been made specific as open and close both. Okay, so that is all about the structures. So there was again okay, in strength of material there is one change that has come now. Okay, and that is vibration and Airy's function, which used to be there earlier, but that has been removed. So this is a big relief for a lot of you. Okay, because this sometimes Airy's function used to be very difficult, and also the vibration of beams is very difficult topics. Okay, so these two topics, if you see in strength of material, that has been removed. So probably this is a relaxation, or probably this is a good thing for you. Okay, now let's go to the last subject, that is the propulsion. And under the propulsion there are two subjects basically. One is the basic thermodynamics, and then second part is the applied part of it. So if we talk about the first thing that we talked, that in the fluid mechanics we will talk about something. So boundary layer, that has been removed now. That has been done with, and also the heat transfer. I don't know, guys. I'm literally surprised when I saw this part, that how could they remove these two topics. These are something which is very core to aerospace. So if you see somewhere there was something called as shock boundary layer interactions. Okay, so that has been expanded into this part. So boundary layer is not there also. Okay, so if you see shock boundary layer interaction, that has been also removed. Okay, so now you see there is only the boundary layer and heat transfer has been removed. Okay, so Sandeep sir has got some relaxation. If we talk about the thermodynamics, they have mentioned basic thermodynamics, that's nothing much. Okay, then if we talk about the special topics, In the propulsion, there were special topics of okay, so it was from special topic. Now it has been moved to the core topic. ठीक है, it was there aerothermodynamics, so non-electric propulsion components such as intake, combustor and nozzles. Diffuser was also part of it. ठीक है, so that has been moved from special to the core topic. Though guys, earlier also we used to see a lot of questions on this part. ठीक है, there is one thing that has been removed, and that is surge and stall. So this part has been removed, but I seriously doubt, because this part you have to study there is one topic which is called as the compressor turbine matching. So when we study the compressor turbine matching, at that time we have to study the surge and stall. Okay, so I don't know whether we will be done away with this. They might not ask specifically from surge and stall, but if you have to compare, between the turbine and compressor matching, then you require these fundas. Okay, so guys, this is a very small change in the propulsion also. Okay, and apart from this, guys, rest everything has been kept same. So we see there are certain topics which have been updated in engineering mathematics. There are few topics which have been removed. Okay, that is in strength of materials, those two topics, and one boundary layer that has been removed. Okay, in aerodynamics and flight mechanics, there are three topics which have been added. Okay, high lift devices, CL alpha curve. Okay, so and in propulsion there are few stall and surge have been removed. So that is modamoti change that has come up. But guys, don't worry, those of you who are yet to prepare, or who are yet to enroll, guys, you can enroll in the GATE wala batches. We already have aerospace batches running. Okay, and those of you who have already studied, who have already enrolled, and in the batches where the course have already been done, don't worry guys, for the topics which have been added, we are going to provide you extra lectures. Okay, and for the subjects for which the course has not happened, there we will cover everything. Okay, so sir, I am IT first year. Okay, you want to prepare CSE or you want to go for robotics? You can go for robotics. Robotics is a very good field that is coming up, and a lot of IITs and IICs, they are offering courses and everything on the robotics, and they are having good packages also. Okay, so that's all guys, what we have for today. I'm sure you might have got some idea on that the changes are not very much, and probably earlier we used to study the same topics. Now those are mostly updated. Okay, so that's all. Thank you so much. See you in next video.